Top of the evening to you. It's St. Patrick's Day and this is Knightline Live. I am Jerry McMiddleton, and over here is my partner, Rick O'Fletcher. How you doing, Rick?
Hang on. So I wasn't expecting that, although we did wear our green.
We got our green on today.
This is a school-based thing,
Yeah.
so we don't have green beer on the premises.
We don't have.
I can say that. Well, happy St. Patty's
Happy
Day,
St.
oh Jerry
Patty's Day.
Middleton.
Oh, I just figured I'd surprise you with that one.
Oh boy, oh boy. Well, it can only go uphill from here, Jerry. So let's at least say what's on tap for tonight. Spring is almost here.
Yes.
And baseball is right around the corner. So with that, we're going to have our baseball seniors on here tonight. We're going to talk everything baseball and see how we can win that sectional this year, maybe win a conference championship. Going to be a lot of competitive teams. So,
Oh, there will be a lot of competitive teams in baseball this year. There's no doubt about that.
So we're going to talk to the seniors. There's 3 of them, and we'll get to know them. They've all been on here before, so they know what's going on. So that's interesting. The Tri-Eastern Conference cheerleading competition was last week.
Yes.
And the Knights performed, so we'll discuss that. We've got some video, and we'll tell you how they did. And again, another solid performance by the Lady Knights. Congratulations to them, but we'll show that video, and we'll discuss the results. To this day, Jerry, when it's things like damsels and band and now cheerleading,
Yep.
add that to the mix, I have no idea how the scoring goes.
Oh, I have no idea how this works. What I think looks great is a bad routine, is what everybody says.
Well, what we're going to have to do, one of these times, we're going to have a segment on judges that judge those contests. Okay? They're going to explain to us how they judge those contests. So the average person knows. Because you go to like Band Day or Damsels, most people, the average person watching doesn't know what their criteria is and what they're grading.
I think a lot of it is, how do you make me feel?
Well, I think it's subjective.
It's subjective.
I mean, you can't help because of the artistic nature of those things. There's going to be some subjectivity, but there are some objective criteria they use, and I would like to know. So that's a segment for the future that we're going to have to do. But we'll talk about the cheerleaders, and we're going to honor our seniors tonight, cheerleaders, and so we'll do that later on. But first of all, and we don't really do this, but we have some teams in the area that we're familiar with that had varying degrees of success in the regional round. I happened to go to a couple of those ball games, and first of all, let's talk about Centerville and Park Heritage. Park Heritage, we're very familiar with that team. We've seen them 2 years in a row, and they're just as solid as they've ever been. They're a lot like Centerville. Centerville, all their core team is juniors now, and Park Heritage very similar. A lot of their core players are juniors, and I'm going to hand it out. I don't know if anybody from Centerville is watching this, but their team played great.
Just say something bad, Rick, and you'll find out how many.
I'm not going to say.
Tell you.
I've got nothing bad to say about anybody.
I listened to the game when I was driving to go watch a pro game. I was listening to the ball game.
Well, Centerville was, they were in the game. They had all kinds of opportunities. Sometimes things don't go your way. Sometimes you make a mistake, and it comes at a bad time. Those things happen. Sometimes a call doesn't go your way. That happens to all teams. They'll experience that. Congratulations to Park Heritage. They're going to go on to that semi-state. But I, as an observer, and I was watching the game with Dan Harney, a friend of the show, Western Wayne News. Him and I were sitting together, and we were chatting back and forth as the game was going on. And, we felt Centerville was every bit the team that Park Heritage was. And the thing about Centerville, if you watch them, they got better as the season wore on.
Oh yeah.
Getting Shea Hollander.
Well, that did not hurt.
No, it helped them a lot.
Yeah, it helped them a bunch.
And he was a big player on Saturday for them also, as he was in the sectional finals. They didn't win the game, but they lost by 6, but it was a close game. It was a 1-point game with probably 3 minutes left, and then you try to catch up, but sometimes it's difficult to catch up at the end of a game, especially with a team like Park Heritage. They've got good players. They can shoot from anywhere, and they were making their fair amount of shots. But I'm going to congratulate Centerville. They put up a fight, and it was a good fight, and they had every opportunity to win that ball game. And they're going to be a force to be reckoned with next year in the Tri-Eastern Conference, and so we'll see what next year brings.
Yep.
Another team that we're familiar with from Randolph County, not Wayne County, that would be Monroe Central. They're actually won their semi-state.
Yep.
They moved down a class because of enrollment. They're in 1A this year, but they played in Newcastle and they beat Daleville. So congratulations to those guys. They're heading on to semi-state, and you know what? I'm good for them.
Absolutely.
They've won. I think they've won either 19 or 20 ball games this year. So they've had a good year. We saw them earlier in the year.
Yep.
And you got to think there's another team that probably got better as the season wore on.
I had them when they played LaPel, and they beat LaPel 18.
Wow.
At LaPel.
Well, then that's a good team right there.
That's a good team.
Yeah. So congratulations to Monroe Central, the Golden Bears up there. They'll be moving on. And another team that we're familiar with, that we see every year in one form or another, is Delta.
Yep.
Now, you have to understand, Delta, they were playing Blackhawk Christian, a premier team from Fort Wayne.
Yep.
Okay, they're in 3A now because of performance metrics, okay? And, boy, I'll tell you what, they came out. I went to watch that game in Newcastle. That was probably the best high school game I've ever seen. So here comes Blackhawk Christian. They go 6'10", 6'5", 6'5", and their guards are 6'3", and that type of thing. And Delta, their guards are 5'11", 5'11", or 5'10", and they go maybe 6'3" up front. But I'll tell you, you got to give it up for Northeastern graduate Mark Detweiler. He is a very good coach.
Absolutely, he is.
And he's like, I'm going to compare him to Brent, even though, different teams, different situations. But he gets the most out of his teams. And congratulations to the Delta Eagles for at least the second year in a row, but I think the third year in a row to them.
Yeah.
They're going back to semi-state. They're actually drew the team that they lost to last year in semi-state. So they'll play them on Saturday. But what a tremendous! If you think of if you're from out of town and you think of Indiana basketball, you think of that what I saw on Saturday night at Newcastle, and it was a tremendous ball game. Delta won by 2. The Blackhawk Christian put up a reasonable 3. It was a long one, but reasonable from a guy who was hitting them all night. And that went off the rim. They only had a couple seconds left, but it was a tremendous ball game. And give it up to the Delta Eagles. And congratulations to Northeastern grad Mark Detweiler. They had their center was 6'10", and they were guarding him with 6-footers, and they shut him down. He was only a little bit of a factor, but mostly a non-factor at 6'10". When you can do that, you've done something. And so congratulations to the Eagles. Hopefully one of these years we're going to be talking about the Knights going to semi-state. It's going to happen at some point. Well, hopefully sooner rather than later.
It will happen.
Yeah, eventually it's going to happen. So there we are. We have a segment we're going to do now, Jerry, that's kind of been on both of our minds
on
here.
on our back burners.
Yeah, on our back burners. So,
and it sort of came to light here, last week. Anyone that watches YouTube or into TikTok stuff like that, you saw what's happened, and I'll talk about bad sportsmanship.
It's either going to be players, fans, or coaches.
Yeah.
And combination of all three.
And the thing is, people don't realize what their actions do. Not only to the game, but I don't know if you've seen that commercial out where it has the dad sits there and he throws his arms up in the air and he leans back on the couch. And the little kid is like about 1 year old. He looks over at his dad, sees it, throws his arms up, and leans back on the couch. That's what happens at these games when you've got 4 and 5 year old kids. This year, a third grader in the Dirt Road League, third grade basketball.
Yeah, just learning how to dribble.
The kid gets ejected for throwing the ball at the referee on a double dribble call.
Oh my goodness!
And it gets better. The parents started yelling at the ref about it. Not that the child did something they shouldn't do.
There.
No correction.
No correction where it
And
needs
I'll
to
tell
be.
you where that ends up. Not good.
Yeah.
Down the road.
Yeah, it's not good. So
Yeah.
so you put together a little video that you want to share with us.
A little bit of a video, and we're going to try and do these once every couple of shows. And if you have any ideas of a subject that you want, our opinion on, it would be good.
Uh-oh.
So
we're getting dangerous now. We're going to share our opinions.
Yeah. So anyway, let's roll that video, and we'll be back. Good evening. I'm Jerry Middleton. In recent weeks, the nation has been shown the ugliness of high school sports, from players, coaches, and yes, parents fighting. You can't even watch or even read the news without some unsporting incident taking place. Tonight, I will dive into this phenomenon that has swept high school sports in recent years. In the opening video, we saw a runner get hit in the back of the head intentionally with a baton. The results of that, the runner suffered a concussion and possible skull fracture. If this was not bad enough, the runner who hit her opponent has received death threats at her high school. Now think about this. The people who are upset about this despicable act thinks it's okay to threaten someone's life. Now take a second and think, what happens if there are no officials to officiate the game? Then there's no game. What about if your daughter or son no longer wants to play because, they're tired of being embarrassed by how you act at the games? Referees are people, players are people, coaches are people, and opposing spectators are people. A state playoff game in Pennsylvania. As tempers flare, fans continue to yell at the 15 to 18-year-old players, calling them losers. If you're wondering why 2 law firms are advertising on the broadcast, just wait and your question will be answered. A fan from the rival school takes offense to what's being said. A lady in the crowd with a small child is caught in the middle of the melee. From the stands to the court. All this because fans cannot act like adults and be an example of positive behavior. Luckily, there were not any serious injuries. The Pennsylvania High School Athletic Association ruled this a double forfeit. Think about the student athletes who did nothing wrong, the senior who was unable to move on, and the state tourney, all because fans could not control their emotions. Middle school basketball, a parent, and I use that term loosely, runs onto the court and hits the referee. The referee suffered severe neck and eye injuries. Any place but in the name of competition, this would be considered an assault. An ejection for throwing a punch at another player. Then this happens. The player loses all self-control. There's no room in sports or non-sporting activity for this type of behavior. A playoff game has just ended when a coach throws a ball and hits the official in the head. His actions now invite the crowd to join in. Players from the visiting team try and protect the official from flying objects, but one finds his target and knocks the official to the floor. On the news, the school superintendent stated she had never seen officiating like that. Inappropriate behavior has consequences. It's only a game, and that's my opinion. And welcome back. I hope you, well, I don't know if you enjoyed it or not, but, in the one where the fight was in the stands, 12 people got arrested.
Well, good. I mean, there's got to be consequences, and I would guess, Jerry, it's school to school, different rules. Probably the IHSAA has rules that govern their contests. But I got to wonder, on one of those shots you saw a player attack a referee.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, in my mind, he's gone for the rest of the year. He's not playing another game that year. Yeah. And if he's underclassman, his whole career is in jeopardy in my mind.
And in my mind, he's sitting in jail.
Well, maybe that's what it's going to take. But,
you saw the one where the lady had the small child. They also charged 6 of those people with child endangerment.
Wow. Well,
so that's another year to 2 years in jail.
Well, hopefully that sent the message
over a basketball game.
It is kind of. I mean, I understand. You and I love sports. We share our opinions when we're at a game, and we don't agree with everything. But you can't start throwing stuff. You can't start, yelling, challenging someone to a fight from the other fan base or those types of things. And certainly, if you're a parent and you're going to rush the floor like that, you should never see the inside of a gym again. Never.
Correct. That should be trespass, and that should be assault if you make contact.
Maybe that's the way they're going to handle it. I think one of these days, not on a semi-related subject, and we've had comments or conversations with the coaches over the years. What I would like to do is do a segment on the relationship with the player, the coach, and the parents, okay, and discuss what that should look like on a healthy team.
Yes.
And I think that would be very informative. I think it would be helpful to the parents, to the players, and, coaches have shared with us.
Yep.
And, different coaches might have different rules, but I think there's a common theme amongst them. So one of these days, Jerry, maybe that'll be our next one. We'll do a little in my opinion segment like you just did. Go. And maybe we'll have what I would consider a helpful segment, for everybody involved to make that relationship great and to make the experience even greater. Because that's what you really want.
Yeah, you want a great experience, not only for the spectators, but for the fans, for the officials, and for the coaches.
Yeah, coaches and the athletes.
Yeah.
You want this to be a positive thing. We understand this competitiveness. We're going to talk to 3 guys who are very competitive here in a minute.
I had one AAU game, then we'll go to break, And the coach before the game said, I'm here for the kids. And as soon as we tossed the ball up in the air, he went bonkers. I said, everybody's here for the kids until somebody keeps score. And then it's out the door. Well, with that being said, we're going to take a quick break and watch the Knightline Live, brought to you by Astro Industries. At Kate's Family Eye Care, we value a family-friendly atmosphere, offering high-quality eye exams. Our expert staff utilizes the latest techniques in eye care. We have a large selection of affordable glasses that are unique to our area. We are proud supporters of the Northeastern Knights and wish all the teams the best of luck.
Go Knights!
We would love to invite you to LifeSpring Students, our youth group at LifeSpring Church that is just south of Northeastern on 27. We meet from 7 to 8:30 on most Thursdays, but the doors open at 6:30. You can grab some pizza or a snack from our cafe and then hang out with your friends until 7 p.m. We have basketball, dodgeball, gaga ball, and other activities for you to enjoy. At 7, our student band leads us in some worship through music, and we have a lesson from God's Word, the Bible. We then split into small groups based on grade and gender to apply what we have learned and pray with one another. After small group, students are invited to hang out until 9 p.m. when we close. LifeSpring Students is a great way to get to know God and meet some new friends. It is open for any student in grades 6 through 12, and we would love to invite you. Find out more at lifespring.tv/students.
KOA Exit 151A, registration and the general store. It's a family-owned campground with pull-through parking for RVs or travel trailers with full hookups. Rent a cabin. Relax at one of the fire pits or picnic by the pond. A playground for the kids, or get in around the golf before dinner. Take a water-soaking hayride, lay out by the pool, and then take a dip. Welcome back to Knightline Live, brought to you by Astro Industries. And Rick, the boys are back in town.
Well, baseball, this is our favorite time of the year, Jerry. We love it's springtime, the sun is out. It's a little chilly today, but the weather's starting to warm up. And we have baseball seniors here. We got Caden White, Blake Waters, and Logan White. Fellas, appreciate you coming.
Yeah.
How anxious are you to get going here? I mean, you guys all like baseball, I assume. That's why you're playing. How anxious are we to get going? Caden, I'm going to start with you.
All right, first off, Mr. Luby's my favorite teacher.
Oh, I
had to say that.
How much did he pay you for that?
Nothing.
Can we see your wallet, Caden? I want to see if you got an extra 20 in there. All right, Steve Luby just got his props, and that's enough. All right, here we go.
I'm really anxious. I'm coming off an injury from last year.
Yeah.
And so I'm just really, really excited to get back into it.
You've been a baseball guy. You're pretty much since you could probably hold a bat, I'm guessing. I've seen your mom post the pictures on Senior Sunday, okay?
Yeah.
And both you and Logan. So talk about a little bit about what your thoughts are for this year's team and your thoughts as you head into your senior year.
I think we'll be pretty good this year. We've got some decent pitching, so a lot of people have to step up that they didn't play too much varsity last year, but I think they'll be crucial for this year.
Yeah. So what is the strength of our team?
I think what
And I know you're not a coach, but you're a senior, so we're going to treat you like a coach. Okay.
Yeah.
So what are one of the strengths of our team?
I think we'll have a great defense this year. Honestly, everyone's pretty much got a position locked in. So like they're the one position they do plays, they're really good at it. Like we have a great outfield this year. I think it'll be probably me, Logan Seal, and it'll switch between Cam and some other people, but we'll have a great outfield and defense this year.
All right, so defense is key. A lot of times I would go up to some of you guys. I don't know if it's you personally, but when I would show you the scoreboard, if it showed 0 under the error column, we're probably on the winning side. But if it showed multiple errors, probably a tough one to win. So,
yeah.
So where are we at in our defense? As far as how good are we going to be defensively?
I think we'll be good. We'll just have to cut down the errors a lot this year. We had a few games where we had a lot of errors last year, but last year we did a bit better than the year before with defensive wise.
Well, and I think, and Jerry, I'm going to say this, I think baseball is one of the tougher sports to play. Hitting a baseball and fielding on fields that normally aren't trimmed up perfectly. Okay, this isn't.
You're not playing on a flat floor.
No, it's not flat. Although they do a great job of taking care of this field. I really want to say that. So now I know you're an outfielder and you pitch. Any other positions you want to play or?
Not really. I'll play wherever they put me.
Yeah.
I'll do my best.
You're a left-hander. Did you ever want to catch or play third base?
Oof, no, I'm not very good at those.
So we won't be seeing that this year.
No, I don't think so.
All right, Blake. So you came off a successful football season, and I always ask this guys who play multiple sports. You and Logan both played football. Does success in one sport, can it bleed into another sport? And I know there's a season between them, but can that happen, or what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I would say it could. It just like all the players that play football and then are also on the baseball team, they know how to win, and hopefully that's what we can do this year.
Yeah, do you take anything away from like Coach Oler or the coaching staff that you bring into baseball, or what? And I know I'm putting you right on the spot here, so here it goes. What's one thing that you can take from football and apply to baseball? Two totally different sports, by the way.
So in baseball, you're going to struggle a lot more. It's a sport where you're gonna fail a lot.
Yeah.
So in football, those moments where I'm failing, I'm struggling, just learning how to get over those moments and just be better for the team.
Yeah, in baseball, 300 hitting, maybe in high school, probably 350 to 400 is more the target area, I would think. But if you do that, that's failing 6 to 7 times out of 10. They call you a success, and there's guys making millions of dollars nowadays who, fail 70% of the time. So how do you deal with that? So let's say you make an error. You're an infielder sometimes, right? You play. What are your positions like?
Mainly short and pitcher this year, but I can really play it anywhere.
Okay, so you're gonna make an error, right? Yeah. It's just it is. It's going to happen. So how do you get past the error? Because it's very difficult for a young high schooler to be forgetful of that and go on to the next play. So how do you accomplish that?
You just got to realize that, errors are part of the game. It's not going to be your last year. You're always going to have errors. It's just part of it. You just got to learn how to get over it and focus on the next play so you don't make the mental errors that can cost your team even more.
All right, Logan. Same for you. It's like you and Caden, you guys grew up on the ball diamond together. I'm guessing your parents have logged a lot of Saturday and Sunday afternoon in the travel be okay, Jerry?
I'm dying. Oh.
Right here on the set, we might have a little, might have to do a little paramedic.
And this might go into something here. We'll go back to that in just a little bit. Yeah.
So Logan, you grew up playing baseball. So now tell me your thoughts as you head into your senior year. This could or might be it for you as far as playing at the high school level. Anyways, it will be. So what are your thoughts and emotions as you're heading into your senior season?
Well, of course, the emotions are going to be strong.
Yeah.
I've been playing with this group since middle school, especially all the juniors, and I get pretty close to the freshmen pretty quick. They're all pretty cool. I like them. And it just being my last year, especially playing with my brother.
So you mentioned freshmen. All right. So you guys are seniors. Are you? Is there that tendency or that urgency? We got something going on here that I'm not aware of here, so I don't know what it is. But these guys are about to crack up.
You got giggle monsters.
Logan's word choice.
His word choice. Playing with his brother. Is that what it is?
No, it's probably calling the freshman cool.
All right. So let me ask you this question, Logan. Do you find yourself in the role as a senior that you have to mentor these young kids? 'Cause you're going to have some young kids still that are going to have to contribute this year. Do you find yourself being a mentor to these youngsters? And maybe you've had that in the past. So what are your thoughts on that?
Sometimes, especially with catching, we got most of our freshmen are young catchers, and that's what we're looking to build up the program with.
Yeah.
Because especially with Colton not playing anymore, we need those catchers. So
Catching, because you're going to catch.
yeah.
Yeah, but you also play elsewhere. You pitch.
Mm-hmm.
You pitch.
Mhm.
Blake, you've thrown the ball, and I'm assuming that'll happen again this year.
Yeah.
But I would say it's fair to say that the White brothers are the 1-2. I'll let you guys fight it out at home who's 1 and who's 2, okay? We'll ask your mom and dad. You think they'll tell us? Okay, no, they probably won't either. Jerry,
Well,
Jerry's the Marty Brenneman of the Knights Broadcasting Network.
here's what I'm just thinking about this. We got a set of twins here,
Yeah.
and they're 6 or 7 years old, getting ready to play t-ball, and
T-ball is tackle football on a ball diamond.
and both of them have ball bats.
Here we go.
Now, what could possibly go wrong? Did that ever happen?
We never hit each other with the baseball bats.
I just wondered about that because I've seen it happen many a time. Brothers go at it with ball bats. They're about 6 or 7 years old. It's funny. But anyway, so as we move on with, high school baseball is not about how many home runs anybody can hit, because usually it'll be 1 or 2 in a year on a good team. And so it's that, it's a doubles game now, or someone that can hit a single and have the wheels of still second. You guys are going to be, you don't have to put this out there to our millions and millions of viewers, but I'm assuming that we're going to be aggressive on the base paths.
Yeah.
We got 3 guys with speed right here,
Yeah.
so that's we're probably looking at 3 of them anyways.
Well, and somebody said that, I forget who somebody was going to come out and play ball, and he said, well, he's really never played baseball before. I said, but he is fast. All you got to do is put a note, turn left on each base. That's all you got to have, And I think if you have somebody that's super fast sometimes, that can make a difference in a ball game.
It makes
Get one run, and one run could be the difference.
Well, a couple of years ago, and you guys were probably sophomores, we had Keaton, Mike Sell, speedster, stole a whole bunch of bases and that type of thing. Very valuable. Which brings me to another point. You guys have watched Major League Baseball, and in Major League Baseball, it's all about launch angle and that kind of stuff, all right? Well, guess what? It's also about striking out, which makes it a boring game. And I love baseball.
Yeah.
So what in high school, all right? Do your coaches, are they talking to you about launch angle, or what's the hitting instruction, Kate?
See ball, hit ball.
Yeah, simple, right?
Yeah.
Just it's and adjust. What about adjustments, like between a fastball and a breaking pitch, and that type of thing? How do you make that adjustment?
It's honestly it's a lot of predicting what the pitcher's gonna throw and anticipating, like, you got an 0-2 count. Most of the time they're gonna throw an off speed, so you're gonna sit on the off speed and then adjust the fastball and foul it off and just keep battling.
So it's not, and you guys, you've hit some home runs, Logan. You guys can hit with power if you know things are going correctly here. But let me ask you this: is it more a game of hitting line drives in the gap, that type of thing? Logan, let me go down to you and ask you that. What's wins in high school?
Definitely line drives. And also short game, so bunting.
Yeah. Moving guys along.
Yeah, moving guys when they're on bases. Hitting the ball when we got runners in scoring position.
If you hit the ball hard in high school baseball, you will be successful.
Well,
you might have a 0 batting average because there's 40 errors made, but if you hit the ball hard, you will be successful.
And so, Blake, I'm going to ask you the same question. Your approach at the plate, describe to the novice out there that, what is your approach as you go up the plate? What are you trying? You're trying to get a hit and get on. That's obvious. But how do you go about that? There's a method to that. Is that right? You got to. It's up in your brain, and you're trying to do that. So explain to us your thought process as you approach.
So when I go up to bat, every pitch I am going up like I have 2 strikes.
Okay.
Every pitch. And basically it's 2-strike approach. I just look to put the ball in play. I don't look to, just smack the ball out of the park. I don't look to hit it 450 dead center. I just focus on driving it to right field, driving it to left field, finding a gap, hitting on the ground hard, moving the people on base. That's it.
Yeah, I find that if you got in a high school field, 350 is probably straightaway center, and a lot of guys can hit it 340. All right, but that's just out number one, right? Especially if you got a fielder who can go back and get it. So would we all agree? And I don't want to force it on you, that it's the line drives, putting the ball in play, make the fielders make the play, put the pressure on the defense, and make them make the play. Same thing with rounding third, make that outfielder make the play. Is that the sense of what you're trying to accomplish, Caden?
Yeah.
All right, I should have been a coach, right? You can go back and tell Coach Baker that I'll be at the next practice. No, I'm just kidding. I won't be. A lot of work in coaching, by the way, Jerry.
Well, one of the bright spots of baseball is the announcers. I'm just saying. You talk about approach at the plate. I think a lot of times young baseball players, they go to the plate and they want to swing at everything and anything, and that's not a good approach to take. You need to, you swing at balls that you can hit, and once you don't hit it, you can't hit pitches in those areas. Well, unless it's strike 3 coming, you let that go by, because all it is a ground out or a pop-up if you're swinging pitches that you can't hit. Do you guys talk about hit balls you can hit and not what you don't? I think batting practice, we get a lot of, I want to get 10 pitches, I got to swing at all 10 of them, and it teaches bad habits. What do you guys do with that? Whoever wants to answer.
Blake, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah, like just today we do live at-bats against our pitchers, and we only get 5 pitches. That doesn't mean go up there and just try and hit every pitch. Like today, I probably went up there and didn't swing once. It's just watching balls, knowing where they're going to be at in game, swinging at strikes, knowing where your best pitch is, knowing what your pitch is. Yeah, that's basically it.
Well, time's rolling on your high school career. You're talking 2 months, and it's graduation. I'm assuming.
We have
That's
confidence you
We
guys
have
are all going to
confidence
make
in-
it out of here.
But
So.
yeah, please do. And but no, but that's coming around the corner. What's your, I mean, your thoughts, your emotions of senioritis? You know, that's the time of year the sun's out and it's going to be nice. What's your thoughts on that?
I'm just right now. I'm just gonna get through it, and I'm not. Well, I want to win that car at the end of the year for my attendance, so I have no
There-
senioritis. I'm not missing school.
There's my man,
So
right
you want
there.
to be in the running then?
Oh,
huh?
yeah.
You want to be in the running for
You
a
will
car.
not be sick. We can assume that,
Mm-mm.
right?
No,
Okay.
Blake, are you in that running also
No.
for the car? Oh, that's funny.
How about you, Logan? Let's get a. Are you in the running for the car?
I may or may not be. I don't know. I've
He's not in the running.
Try not.
Oh,
So what are your plans? All right, you guys are seniors. This is it. What's going on after school? You got that nailed down, or you tell us what's going on, Caden?
Yeah, I wanna go to IU Bloomington for
Okay.
nursing,
Okay.
and then after that, I'd like to go in the Air Force. But
Yeah, they got a pretty good football team down there in
Mhm.
Bloomington. Their basketball team, I'm not quite sure. Usually they're competitive in baseball though too. I do. Know
yes.
that.
Well, the baseball coach left and went to Arizona State or Arizona.
Do you blame them with the weather out there?
No, I don't.
Blake, what are your plans after high school?
I plan to go to Indiana State to study for forensics, maybe become a detective. I might try and walk on the baseball team there. I don't know. It's just really depending on how good they are.
They've also got a good baseball
They are
team
very
there.
good baseball. And they're the
So-
coach here for years and years and years.
Couple of good baseball programs there. Is you're going if you're going to play in college, it's business.
Mm.
You know,
Yeah.
you're in a whole nother level. Even in a D3, like if you went to Earlham or something like that, it's all business, and you spend a lot of time. So
If you think about doing the walk-on thing, you got to have all your paperwork turned in by the 1st of August,
Okay.
which is sickle cell, all the stuff you've got to have turned in. And, one day late,
too bad.
too bad. So, just FYI.
Thank you.
Logan, what are your plans?
I'm going to Indiana State to study for civil engineering.
Yeah, another Sycamore.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good deal.
And all right, so when you're there, all three of you guys, if you don't make the base or decide not to walk on, there's intramural sports all over the place. You plan on playing something, or softball was big. We had flag football when I was, this was 50 years ago, but so, just a few years ago. So is that an interest, Logan?
Yeah, I'd probably join some sort of club.
Yeah,
They got colleges now. This gotten big.
it's
like
big time. Yeah.
they got club baseball, and they have their own World Series. They got the club basketball. They got their own Final Four tournament. They got club everything, and it's pretty intense.
Yeah, it is, and they have flag football, and they're big tournaments, and especially schools. You guys are going to relatively big schools, and so you'll have a lot of opportunity if you want to continue that. Do something. Don't just sit around. All right?
Yeah.
Do something, and keep your nose clean. I guess I can say that. So, well, fellas, good luck. We're looking forward to it. I think our first broadcast with baseball. Hopefully it'll be sunny and 80, but April 8th is
No.
not that far away. So we'll be live streaming that and, doing all the things that we do, our player of the game, and, hopefully we'll have a good experience with that. You guys get to watch yourself on the live stream, and, hopefully we'll have a good year. So
Yeah.
good luck. Congratulations. The little pre-congratulations on graduation for you guys.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
we'll talk to you at some point. I'm sure we'll talk to all three of you.
And if you win the car, we'll have you back on.
Yeah, you can
All
give us
right.
all. You can give us all a ride.
I'm hoping.
All right.
Well, thanks guys for joining us. And when we come back, we'll talk a little bit of cheerleading, I believe, on the Knightline Live, brought to you by Astro Industries.
Being aligned with the Better Homes and Gardens brand brings with it a unique approach to identifying, marketing, and servicing distinctive homes. We know that your experience while buying and selling your home is as important as the homes being bought and sold. That's why our affiliated agents are passionate about personalizing every part of your real estate experience to ensure that every moment is distinctive.
Do you have a big event coming up soon? Dejo Photos has you covered. Check us out on Facebook. We are professional photographers who strive to capture all of your special moments, such as family portraits, senior photos, live action sports, graduations, and so much more. If you don't think photos are important, wait until they are all you have left. Contact us via email at info@dejophotos.com or call us at 765-277-0047. Dejo Photos, capturing memories one photo at a time.
From our trucks to their lunch trays, to your local hospital, to your favorite pub, and to your kitchen table. For more than 60 years, Dot Foods and Dot Transportation have been stocking the shelves of your hometown. Sure, we've grown a lot, but at our core, we're still small-town, family-run businesses that care about our communities and the people who keep us running. Join the Dot family today and be part of something bigger.
You're good at basement basketball.
We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
In this market, finding a home you love and actually closing the deal is a cause for celebration. And it all starts with a competitive edge from First Financial Bank. We'll get you pre-qualified fast so you can get your offer in first. We even offer programs with low down payment options and reduced closing costs. Plus, our friendly local team is always here to help. A bank that's ready to help you find a home and a reason to celebrate, however you choose to. That's First.
First! Harmon sheds are custom built to your specifications and needs. But wait, there's more! Harmon sheds build privacy fences, decks for your pool, beautifully designed decks for all around your home, and detached pavilions. Let Joe and the crew do all the work, so all you need to do is relax. Welcome back to Knightline Live, brought to you by Astro Industries. And Rick, I think we had some messages about our baseballers.
Well, so Dwayne White, who is Logan and Caden's dad, was, he messaged us, sent us on the Facebook page, and he was wondering about, as the kids grow up and play baseball, of course you're in the yard playing baseball like we all did as kids, and you're hitting that thing. Well, there's house windows and picture windows and car windows. They're all over the place. So my guess is, Dwayne, that was your contribution to your kids growing up, a few windows wherever they may be. So thank you for your contribution, Dwayne. I'm sure the kids appreciate it, and we appreciate what, fine young men that we had right here. Really good guys, and so looking forward to baseball.
Well, last week, the cheerleaders traveled to Lincoln for the TEC Cheer Championships, and another successful year.
Another great year for the Lady Knights. Let's do this first, Jerry. We have a video compilation of what went on that night. So, Aiden, let's go ahead and play that, then we'll come back and we'll add our comments to it, okay? So go ahead, Aiden.
Let's introduce the cheerleaders from Northeastern: Eden Quinn, Claire Rush, Kayla Goldberg, Braylee Day, Myron Kelsey, Kylia Rose, Riley Gentry, Hayden Gross, Mackenzie Gibbons, Racy Jordan, Ariana Pearson, Lillian Spicer, Jocelyn Brown, Chloe Anthony Brooks, Aubrey Irvin. Regrettable squad, good luck, and the floor is yours. In second place, Northeastern High School.
Welcome back to Knightline Live, brought to you by Astro Industries. Well, Rick, second place. Hey, that's, it's not the end of the world.
No, it's been a great year. We got to congratulate the seniors, Peyton Gross, Eden Quinn, Braley Day, and Jocelyn Brown. They've had a good run.
Yes.
I mean, those seniors been right in the thick of all this competition. They got to go to Disney World. I mean, How many kids get to say they go to Disney World for this?
Go to the House of the Mouse.
House of the Mouse. So congratulations, ladies. It's been a good run. Congratulations to the seniors. Hopefully they're all moving on to bigger and better, and they'll look back on these days very fondly, because they will look back and say, boy, we had a good run with this cheerleading squad. So congratulations to all of them. And I think we need to go to break, Jerry.
Well, hey, let's head to commercial. And when we come back, Rick and me will wrap things up on Knightline Live.
We're dedicated to great results just for you. Johnson Chiropractic.
I recommend Dr. Johnson all the time over the years. Many people have come to Dr. Johnson for my recommendations. And if people live 50 miles away and they tell us they have this problem and they're going to have an operation, we say, no, go see our chiropractor, Dr. Johnson.
We're dedicated to great results just for you. Johnson Chiropractic.
This is Rick Fletcher. When my car needs repair, I take it to 715 Simharjan Parkway in Richmond, home of Knuckle Busters. With their ASE certified technicians, why would you go anyplace else? They repair domestic and imports, air conditioners to Z-bars. Knuckle Busters Auto Repair. Call 765-488-1470 and tell them to go Knights!
Are you being bugged about your floral needs? The Leaning Lily, 927 South 9th, is a full-service florist with lots of great gift ideas like wind chimes, potted plants, hanging baskets, teddy bears, and much, much more. Convenient delivery available to residential, the hospital, and local funeral homes. The Leaning Lily has bouquets to say, I love you, to weddings to say, I do. The Leaning Lily, we have you covered. Martin's Country Mart, US 27 Fountain City. Swing in and grab a coffee or a frazzle, maybe a fountain drink at Martin's Country Mart. We also have all your favorite snacks, bottled drinks, and of course, sweet bakery items. Plenty of accessories for dinner. And don't forget the grill menu, covering lunch, dinner, and of course, the kids' favorite, pizza. Martin's Country Mart, Fountain City.
Your school helps shape the person you become, opening your mind to new ideas and belonging to a community. Whether it's earning an advanced degree, joining the FFA, pushing your health and wellness, playing in the band, or playing on the field. It's a safe place where everyone knows your name, and a kid can be a kid. The halls of today filled with the leaders of tomorrow. Northeastern.
You've had a hard day at work, and all you want to do is sit in your lounge chair in the nice cool air? Then it hits! The AC's not working. The living room feels like the Sahara Desert. Call Reynolds Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. In just a short time, it'll be nice and cool. And then all you'll need is a sign that says, No penguins allowed. Call 765-966-0994. Reynolds Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Proud sponsors of the Knights. Did someone say boom, baby? Call Scaretti Pyrotechnics at 765-977-2757. Scaretti Pyrotechnics has performances for birthdays, weddings, school athletic events, other occasions, and of course, the 4th of July. Scaretti Pyrotechnics are proud supporters of Knights Athletics. Boom, baby! Smith, McQuiston, and Webster Funeral Home has proudly served the Fountain City area since 1886. From the time you walk up the steps, Funeral Director Keith Webster's goal is to carry forward the legacy of personal service established by the Smith and McQuiston families. Using modern technology and good old-fashioned attention to detail, we will strive to earn your confidence in us by treating families the way we think we would want to be treated. Smith, McQuiston, Webster Funeral Home. Rick, thank goodness somebody called time out because I am hungry.
I'm starved, Jerry. Hey, with 3 different Richmond locations and 1 in Hagerstown, there's a Subway sandwich shop near you.
And you can always order off the app for curbside pickup. The drive-thru's always open, and the way that I prefer it, I just like to walk in.
Here's your sub.
Listen, Subway, eat fresh.
Go Knights!
Welcome back to Knightline Live, brought to you by Astro Industries, and a few public service announcements here. Now, we're going to be off from Knightline Live for a few weeks, 2 weeks because school's out. And then the following week, I think we open with our first baseball broadcast, which is on a Monday night.
Well, our first, actually, the 14th of April will be the next time we're on, I think, if I'm doing my math correctly,
Yeah.
which I might not be. But anyways, check the Facebook page.
Yeah.
Jerry will keep us up to date. We won't be here next week, and we won't be here the following week. And we'll see what the week after that
Yeah.
brings. So we might have that date open. We're going to have to look, but you and I will decide. But I do know that our first baseball broadcast is going to be April 8th, and that's against Muncie Burris. And come on out to the field and bring your snowsuits because it's normally cold, especially early in the year. It doesn't matter if it's 75 all day. It's going to be cold at game time, and the game's usually 5 to 5:30, but that's a flexible time.
Yeah.
They get going when they get everybody's ready to go. So come on out, and baseball season and softballs after that. We'll have a softball game, but we'll look at our Facebook page and we'll keep everybody up to date.
Well, I think that's a wrap for the night. Everybody have a safe spring break.
And
Be
happy
careful
St.
out
Patty's
there.
Day.
Happy St. Patrick's Day. Go Boilermakers. I think that's the only team we have in the state, isn't it?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that
because
is.
Butler's not, Indiana
No.
State's not, and IU's not.
No.
And so I'm not sure about Notre Dame. But
I don't think Notre Dame is
Well,
either.
hey.
On the ladies' side, you've got Indiana, Ball State, and Notre Dame are both all in the tournament. So
Indiana, Notre Dame, pretty
Yeah,
good.
They are. They are.
So take care, be careful out there. And for Rick Fletcher, I'm Jerry Middleton, and it's been another good night.